Alrighty, I'm on the way to Willow Park Christian Camp to speak at a leadership camp about my experience as a leader, sort of in an applied setting, and we'll see how that goes. I've got Alex Jameson and Alexi Delport joining me, and we'll see if I'll be able to record my presentation. I've got an hour-long period. I'm speaking for an hour, so it'll probably be more around half an hour. So I'll mic myself up. I'll be using the Rode Wireless Go 2. And we are pulling up now. Bang on time, 12:30. I think I was supposed to be here 10 minutes ago, but there we go. We are here. Let's rock and roll. Alrighty, hello everyone. My name is Kalos. For those of you who don't know me, I was last year's 2024 head student for Howard College, along with Sophie and my deputies Xavier and Prajna. What I wanted to do today is just give you guys a bit of an insight on leadership at Howard College from a head student perspective, because I did oversee quite a bit last year. And what we'll cover today is some event coordination, some event planning, the basics at Howard College, the 2024 experience, just a little bit of learning from previous experiences. We'll talk a bit about social media and do a bit of a social media handover for those that it applies to, and we'll have a bit of a Q&A with some members of my lovely team, Alexia from the Irvine House Council and Alex from the Arts Council. Alrighty, event coordination. Now, one of the main roles of your jobs is going to be event coordination. You'll be running events, you'll be coordinating them, and it's a very good skill to have, is just planning an event. I've broken it down into 3 sections that are based on Siege. So we have the preparation phase, action phase, and the after action phase. The preparation phase, I've broken it down. This is probably your most difficult phase. It is your most busiest. It'll be where you do the most planning. This is the most difficult phase because sometimes you find out that your ideas don't work, and then you'll work on making them work. So I've broken it down. So we start with ideation. This is sort of going through your who, what, when, where, and why. Who was involved? Do you need your TIC's permission? Do you need any techies available? And what equipment do you need to run? Who do you need to contact for the equipment that you need for the event? What is the event itself? When are you planning on doing it? Does it clash with anything? How does it affect the natural operation of the school? And if it's weather dependent, how does the weather look? Where you are planning on doing it, are you going to cover all the blocks? Are you going to make sure that if it's a big event, there is enough room for people to move and there's no bottlenecks where people will sort of get stuck and start trampling on one another? Is the location, you're going to base it weather dependent as well? Why are you doing it? What is your goals? And what are your non-negotiables or your MVPs, most valuable products, to make the event a success? How would you define a successful event? If you think the who, what, when, why bit is a bit primary school, a bit childish, this is how we actually ran the festivals, Spring Festival and Midwinter Festival. These documents here that I'll provide to the head students is actually how we went through. We went through who's running the events, what are they doing, and then there's some more planning stuff lower. Next is delegation. Now, delegation is a very, very important part of leadership because you cannot do everything on your own. As much as you think you can, you can't. Because you will end up leaving gaps that you won't see, and then it'll come back to bite you later. So know people in your team, know people in your communities who can help you, who are better at stuff in certain aspects, so they can help you with planning equipment, planning payments, setups, cleaning up. And I want to stress the importance of ideation in a group setting, so you can cover as many aspects as possible from the different perspectives that each one of you have been brought up with. Here is some planning document from Spring and Midwinter Festival. I'll go to Spring because that's where I found a format that I really liked, where I have split it into this sort of a checklist, where I have The item of what I want or whatever aspect of Spring Festival is, whether it's the location that needs to be cleared, whether it's the sports council or poster designing by the student houses, and I've split them into who do I need to contact if I need an update on this. It tells me what status it is. If it's done, then I get to forget about it. If it's blocked, then I need to figure out why it's blocked and then put more attention into unblocking it. If it's waiting, I know who to contact or who to follow up for. If it's cancelled, then I know I've already made a decision of it. I can forget about it. I've also organized it into priority list. If something is a high priority and it's not started, then something's wrong. And I've got some due dates there and some notes that help me organize things, prioritize them, and then get that checklist checked off. With something as intricate as these events, where you've got lots of people, lots of houses all coming together, it's important to note everything down so that you have a plan. If you try to remember all on your own, you're going to forget stuff and you're going to start losing track of everything. Once those two parts are probably the most work, once you have them sorted, then it's so much easier for you to propose your idea or event. You'll have to get these things approved by either SLT, specifically for the head students, or for your house leaders, it'll be through your deans, and then your deans will take it to SLT. If you have any ideas as a leadership team, those go to your leaders, Nathan, Yashini, Callum, and Lucy. Once you've passed that, you then rock onto promoting the event. This is very important. I will admit that we lacked that criteria last year. We were a bit rushed on promoting, and then that meant that events weren't as known as we would have liked them. Your head students will have access to the student Instagram page, and Miss Paquette runs the Facebook and newsletter. I would rather, Miss Paquette would probably rather you guys not go directly to her, but if you have TICs, go through your TIC, and then your TIC will go to Miss Paquette if it's something that the school would like to promote. Yes, leaders page run by the head students, and then we have the sub-Instagrams, the Arts Council, and the sports page that are run by, those are the official pages. The sub-sports pages where it's specific teams, those aren't managed by us. They are overwatched by the Sports Council though. It's important to know what the different promotion platforms are. The Instagram's primarily student focused. A lot of students are on there, where the Facebook page and a bit of the newsletter is more parental focused, but you do get parents on the Instagram and students on the Facebook and the newsletter. So it's just catering to your audience. You might want to change up some information if you are directing one of those. After all that planning's done, you head on to the action phase. Now, with a good prep and a plan, the action phase should be the easiest to run. Once you've got all that sorted out, you're pretty much just carrying out the plan as normal. Media, very important. Take lots and lots of photos and videos because it really helps promote the engagement, the student engagement of these events and the after promotion. And it will help you greatly if you ever run those events again or run similar events. You can refer to that media from last year or from previously or whatever. I'm not sure if phones would be an acceptable reason to help promote student engagement.
Well, it's better than a poster stuck up.
It is better than a poster. Yes, Nathan?
There's a few cameras we can borrow around school for photos and videos.
Okay, how many people know how to use a camera? How many people know how to use your phone?
We're not allowed phones, and they've changed the rules.
But if it's for, okay.
If they directly use their phone, so as a camera, that's
Well, Kalos, that was a silly question, wasn't it? Asking about phones.
What?
You knew that. You told me.
Told you what?
You're like, oh, phones are banned next year.
Yeah, but now they can use them for promotion purposes. Okay, operation. Manning, hosting, and operating the events, also super important because they run the actual event itself. Whether that's manning stalls, hosting, or emceeing, and operating whatever equipment is needed, like if you need techies, to run the events. Monitoring is also an important aspect. You're ensuring people turn up for their roles that whatever they've assigned to. Actively monitoring feedback. from your teams, from the How College community, and for your equipment to make sure that you have enough materials, you have enough whatever you need, and you're making sure that people turn up. If the teams do report back problems, then there will be some problem solving, some critical thinking that needs to be done at the time for you to overcome any of those problems. An example of this, Spring Festival, albeit not the best promoted, but we did end up printing a bunch of tickets. We thought we were fine. We ran out of tickets. And so I got a text on my phone saying we've run out of tickets, and so now I have to work with my team to try figure out the best way to print a new batch of tickets and to cut them as soon as possible. I ended up printing some through the library printer off of my phone, and then using the library cutters, using their equipment to help get the tickets back up, more tickets, within like 5 minutes of us running out, and we were back on track. Now, after the action phase is done, I would probably say the second most important phase, most difficult phase, is the after action phase, because that's a habit you have to build in. This is your cleanup, this is your reviewing. I'm not sure if you guys have covered sweeping the shed. This is making sure that while you've had a successful or unsuccessful event, that you're cleaning up, you're packing up rubbish, you're leaving your place litter-free, and you are returning equipment that you've either borrowed or taken. And it's important that you return that equipment promptly in one piece, because if you ruin that connection that you have with your delegation network, then you're going to be in a bit of a tight spot for when you next need to use it, because they won't trust you or they won't have it because it's broken. The last three are all based around the idea of what could be better done for next time. This is your outcome. Was it a good turnout? Did you meet your goals? Did you meet your MVP that you wanted to aim for? That's an internal review. That's something you can do on your own or with your partner or whatever group you had organized the event. Performance is another internal review. Was the plan as good as it could have been? And I say could have been because you can only work with the information you had at the time. So don't be too hard on yourself. You're more looking at what processes could you put in place next time that could overcome any of those problems that you may have come across. And then feedback is just an external review. What did others think? What were the consumers? What did they think of the event having participated in it? Okay, and that's my event coordination. Okay, next up, the 2024 experience of the leadership team. Now, during term 3-ish, a little bit, Sophie and I got the team to fill out a bunch of sticky notes. Now, we asked them to write the pros and cons of being a leader. So we have pros on the green stickers and the cons on the blue stickers. And so what I want to do a bit now is have a bit of a leadership family feud.
Hooray!
Hooray! I came up...
Steve Harvey.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I came up with this idea while playing Siege. So you all know Family Feud. You have the question, you have the answer, and you have the survey says. So I have compiled all of the statements that the team has made. And I'm not going to show you them because I don't want you to cheat. What we're going to do is we are going to split you into two sides. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try. Split you into two sides. I'm thinking councils and house leaders. And what we're going to do is you guys' goal is, so each of the statements on the sticky notes have been categorized into a category. The more frequently that category comes up, the higher the value the category is. Your goal is to try and guess the categories to earn the most points. All right, I'll get you guys a hand with that.
Sure.
So what we'll do now is council leaders, house leaders. For you lovely people, I'm thinking Nathan and Lucy go on one side, and then Yashini and Callum go on the other. Okay, fine, go house. Okay, yeah, that works. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to try. We're going to try. All right. Yeah, I did. Here, grab that table. We're moving this to the middle of the room. Yep, straight in the middle. All right. Do you guys have pens? Fantastic. All right.
They get their own pens.
All right, listen up, team. Here's how this is going to work. We're going to have one representative come up to the bottle. I will put up the question, and then the first person to pick up their pen will have it on the table and ding the bottle. I'll have Alex and Alexia watch who dings the bottle first. Gets to go back to their team and answer the first question, and then we'll just swap, all right? If your category is not on there, you get no points. If your category is on there, you get the amount of points that the category is worth. Sound good? Fantastic. All right, first person up.
They ask if they did it and they go to the team, or do they answer the question?
I'm going to say they go to their team.
Oh, okay.
Just because...
What do we have to do again?
Pick it up and ding. But you guys have to be... We'll go hands on the table like that.
Hand on the table.
And can you like move the pen so they're equally like separated? Okie dokie. For the don't stop looking at that. For the did that come up? Damn it!
You didn't see that.
Whatever. Okay, for the first category. Oh yeah. Sorry. Do you have any questions?
Do they answer the question straight away? Do they go to their team talk and then come back? Yeah,
I will tell you what the question is.
and then do we just like, even if...
If you ding, then the other person just has to stay there. They can't answer it. They just get the first. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Out of 27 student leaders, they were categorized into a bunch of answers. What is the... What category was best rated as the pros of being a student leader? Actually, that's a good point. We should get them to answer right now.
Yeah.
Go, Poppy.
I didn't even really listen. I just had
Okay, go, Ashley.
engagement.
Our survey says.
Engagement.
Give me a second.
Our survey.
Wait, do I get a go or not?
Yeah! All right, is this scrap?
So what do I do now?
Can you keep note of their points?
So okay.
I didn't even hear the question.
So wait, which side's what?
Just go house leaders and councils.
House. Council.
Now, do I go to Poppy or do I go to Ashley's side?
Now you go to Poppy, she answers what she gets, and then whoever gets...
No, because she already got the highest point.
So then you go to her team. I haven't watched Family Feud in a long time, so...
You know, she can either pass it or play.
She ever get
Pass or play.
play?
Pass or play.
Oh yeah, pass or play.
As in, do you want to answer?
Okay. Okay, then you go to discuss as a team for the next...
Yeah.
Right?
You go, one team and then you come up here and ask individuals.
Do I have to...
And then if they get it wrong...
Yeah, yes please.
What's the question?
Just the categories of being a student leader. What are the great things of being a student leader from the 2024 perspective?
Sorry.
Everyone, shushing.
Okay.
I knocked his thing. Whoopsie. Sorry, Kalos.
Okay, go Charlie.
Hello.
What category something out of the leaders? What are the pros
Of leadership.
Leadership. Friendship. Survey says.
Okay.
Just relationships?
That counts as friendship.
Pros of leadership.
Making an impact.
Survey says.
Okay, well, maybe this is a bit flawed. Yay! All right,
It's free strikes.
I'm gonna go one strike.
One strike.
One strike? No! Don't do that.
So you get this wrong, you're done.
Something pros of leadership.
Just say pros of leadership. I don't know. That's gone. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Community, survey says.
I'm going to name that as contribution and impact.
It's already on the board.
All right, this team.
Okay, so now they now they talk as a team.
Now,
and see
yeah.
if they
Oh,
can figure out
okay.
the rest. I got this.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I haven't watched Family Feud in years. How are we doing for time? We're actually doing really well. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Question. If we get this right, do we get the points right?
They get all the points.
Yeah, you get all the
But
points.
just the ones that have been answered, or do they try answer the rest?
We'll get you to try to answer the rest.
Okay. Okay, 5 minutes to go. Give me an answer.
All right, 2, 1.
Solving problems. Survey says. Okay, that means house cleaners. Do they get the points or do they try the rest of it?
I'm just going to reveal the rest of the point. The
Okay.
thing. Well done for getting something. Right, so the top category is that you guys can stay where you're standing.
You don't get to take a seat in this game.
Right, yeah, so the top categories that the team felt, forget about the red bar, was engagement in relationships, opportunities in learning, contribution and impact, positive environment and relationships, teamwork, collaboration, and recognition and respect.
Nice.
This is based off the very real entries that the team has put in. You guys can take account of these, I'm not going to read them. But they are about meeting new people and all of that stuff.
I don't think I
You did write some of these.
I don't think I wrote these.
I think I know which one you wrote. And you could probably tell who wrote this. All right. Cons of leadership.
Okay, who's next? One person from each team, let's go.
I'm Jack Charlie, John Harris, and I'm back to ding this bottle so hard.
You can't grab that one.
Okay, well, I kind of cut this in.
Okay, Carlos, read the question.
Oh, yeah. From the 27 student leaders from 2024, what were the top cons of leadership?
Time management.
Our survey says.
How old are you, Jack?
Self-pressure.
Our survey says.
Oh, I'm going to say no.
Usually it's 3 strikes.
Okay, yeah.
That one, I like
Sorry.
Give me one else. So cons of leadership.
Lack of communication.
No. Oh, wait a minute.
He said, wait a minute.
Hold on, we might have
Yes.
Coxie.
Yes.
Let me see, Carlos. Let me see.
No, I've done something wrong. Give me a second.
VAR is checking. Give us a sec.
Going upstairs.
I'm not going to put it up because I have made a mistake, but okay. We're going to wrap this up, but judgment is on there. How I'm going to give the points to these guys. Everyone can sit down. Anyway, I did make a mistake. The categories were business and time management, stress and overwhelm from their subjects, communication and coordination. Did someone say that?
We did say
That's on me then.
communication.
Work-life balance, leadership challenges, and then other general difficulties. Now, I do have a prize for you guys. It's in the briefcase. It is a full stack of chalk for your leadership team. There you go. I had that left over from last year, so that's for you guys.
So sweet.
You're very much welcome. So while these are the things that you guys get to look forward to and know you do really well in, these are the items that you'll have to try to do your best to reduce as much as possible. Now, there's no way that you'll be able to get rid of them, but there are ways that you can help negate them. So the implications, I've sort of reorganized them and grouped them in order. The first three, would you agree that these are organizational implications? Yes. Some of the solutions that I have for being more organized is Google Calendar. Who uses Google Calendar? Who uses any calendar? Fantastic. I highly recommend you use Google Calendar for your schoolwork. It ties straight into your school email, syncs with your Gmail, syncs to your phone and your laptop, so you have it both. And then you can even create documents based on meetings on a calendar event. How many of you have subscribed to your own school timetable? If you go to your school portal and scroll down, there's a link. If you put that link into Google Calendar, you will have your full school timetable on your Google Calendar. Ooh. I also recommend sharing your personal calendar with your school one, just so you can see what slots you're busy and what slots you're not, because this role is going to be very time consuming in your own time, and so it's important to know when you're free and when you're not. Know everything about your day all of the time. This is an actual screenshot of one of my weeks. It looks busy, right? But I've got all of my classes there, super useful. And this was actually probably one of the busiest weeks. I can pretty much list out everything. I know that I've got a teacher briefing to run for tech, I've got all my classes, and then these are the meetings that I have as well. Now, it looks a bit intimidating, but it's the easiest way you can break down your week into a day and then just run through it bit by bit, rather than having to go to this email, go to that text. You have everything in one place. For the meeting event document attachment, it sort of looks like this. You can have the event details up top, when it is, who's attended, and we use this for our Midwinter Festival meetings. I'm just running down what that looked like. And then for future meetings, we just refer back to our last meeting. Google Tasks, I used heaps. It ties straight into your Google ecosystem, ties into your email, syncs to your Gmail, syncs to your phone, and it helps you keep track of everything. Now, I use this, it sort of looks like this. What I did was I had a list for each of my classes. I took this off the internet. I have a list for each of my classes. I get to track all my assessments, all the due dates, and then I get everything, my whole life, in the one screen. I also have its own list for the leadership team, what I think. So the leadership team, anything that the team brings up as an event, as an idea, or anything that I want to think about later, I'll put down in the leadership team list, and I had my own head students list for all my own head student responsibilities. Planning events, organizing meetings, and then all the due dates tie into Google Calendar. You can see there, that's what that looks like. I've got pay for OED because OED is expensive. You can use other apps like Trello. I have a YouTube channel. This is how I manage some of my videos, the process of them. You should go check out my YouTube channel. It's called testingtoys.com.
Testingtoys.com, I'm the biggest fan.
Thank you, Alexia. And then other organizational implications, sort out your emails. They're going to be your primary source of communication through your teachers, through each other, through your classes. You don't have to add labels and sort them into color coordination. It's pretty much as simple as archiving rubbish and old threads that you don't need. I would highly recommend you start 2025 off fresh and archive everything. It won't delete it, you can still search for it if you want, but start off with a clean slate and then stay on top of your emails, because what we want to do is we want to build positive habits. The next bit here I'm going to say is stress and overwhelm and the communication coordination. Now, my best advice for you is to just take it easy. For communication, I think it's important to over-communicate, to start off with that at least, because it's always better to over-communicate than to under-communicate. You would much rather over-communicate and then chop down as you go than it is to under-communicate and then have to figure out what's going on. That's not nice. The implication of being a leader means you all have taken on an additional responsibility. You're managing teams, you're organizing events. And it's unfair that you guys have all this extra work and then the average Joe Blow doesn't, and then you guys are fit into the same restrictions, the same parameters. This is particularly in deadlines for your work. Your responsibility comes with a chance for flexibility because you have this extra role. But that privilege only comes from telling someone about it. You need to express any worries, any frustrations. If it's taking up mental space, tell someone. It could be your partner, it could be Nathan, Lucy, Yashini, or Callum, or your TIC. But don't suck it up. Don't feel like you have to keep that internally because we want to build positive habits. Finally, leadership challenges. There's this thing that I am very familiar with. It's called Imposter Syndrome. Do you guys know what that is? Ish. Pretty much, it's come from these sayings, I'm feeling like I'm not a good enough leader. Being, I can't be in charge or authoritative. I'm not doing as much, or I didn't do as much as I could have in term one. These are completely normal feelings that come with any leader, anyone in a high role. But these feelings are not true. They're normal, but they're not true. And you guys have to actively challenge yourself, challenge what you're feeling, and acknowledge that that's what you're feeling, and then look back on your achievements and what you've done to earn these roles, because the truth is you guys are the best of the best. Nobody is more capable than doing your job than you guys. And there's a very clear reason why you guys were chosen, and so there's no reason for you guys to be doubting yourself, but that is a normal feeling. Surround yourself with people who you trust and people who support you to build positive habits. Now, general difficulties, I won't class it as general because every difficulty is a difficulty, but this is what you're not expected to do is have your whole life planned out. This comes from this statement that I saw on the sticky note is, it's just been a hard year for me in general, figuring out what to do next year. You guys are not meant to have your life planned out right now. These roles give you skills and experiences which are useful for any application, but they don't plan out your life. And there are systems in place at Howard College to help you discover what path you want to take right now. And that might change later, and that's important to acknowledge, is that you guys aren't locked down into a life. And that's the 2024 experience. All right, we'll go quick. Just a quick thing on social media. There are 3 official social media channels. The HC Leaders, the Arts, and the Sports. Yes?
Is Aurora getting one this year like they had one last year? He doesn't know.
That's not for me to decide. This is your year, Nathan. The HC Leaders is run by the head students. Only head students are supposed to have access to that, not deans, especially not deans. Just because we don't want an impact bias of that. The HC Arts Councils is run by our Arts Council leaders, and the HC Sports is run by the Sports Council and the Sports Department. Now, your responsibility as a team is to watch the content posted. Now, they are student run, but the best way to moderate that is if you guys help just watch the content that's being posted. If it's not something that you think aligns with the Howard College values, bring it up. And then you guys will go through the process of reviewing that yourselves. How we did it last time is we got sent content and then we posted it. And I don't know if that's going to change this year, but send your leaders content because it'll help balance out the careers posts that otherwise flood the leadership pages. I'll meet with the team later, but for now, we can run the Q&A. And so because I want this to be a a nice, supportive, close environment, I would like to politely ask the student leadership team to exit the room.
Because we're not nice, polite, or supportive. You want it to
No,
be
I want it to
organic.
organic, yes.
Yes.
You don't have me. I won't close the door, it'll be fine. All right, you have a head student, a council leader, and a house leader. Any questions about the role? Fire away. Hello.
Do we have to have like only those Instagram pages, or can we create our own?
No, not allowed.
It was a petition. It was one of our plans last year to have an Instagram account for each of the councils, but that did not get passed because SOT thought it'd be too hard to manage, having 9 different pages. Hawaii Council was a separate thing. They weren't supposed to have a page, but they made one anyway, but we shut that down.
There's also a cultural council page as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That hasn't existed since the year before last year.
Oh,
They shouldn't have posted anything last year, besides Poor Fear Fear.
okay, yeah, that's all that's there.
Right, okay. Nothing about the role.
I suppose cultures could go under arts and stuff like that, depending on what culture is. What would actually
Yes, but I would probably keep the leaders page as everyone, and then the arts page is arts, and the sports page is sports. Hello.
So, because we have arts and sports,
Yes.
we're quite big parts of the school,
Yes.
would we not count cultural as a big part of the school? Like, do you think there would be some kind of talk, do you know what I mean? Because
They are-
such a big aspect.
I think they're created based on events.
Yeah.
The events that cultural has is Poor Fear Fear and possibly Food Festival,
But I
and
feel like you don't need your own Instagram to promote that. Like you use the How at College
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
and so we don't see a necessity
Okay.
for a specific cultural page as much as, you know, sports floods the sports page, and arts has everything going on like every
Yeah.
month. So they've got their own pages.
And the more pages there are, the less is going to be on each page.
Yeah, I just think like we're trying to really promote culture and getting everyone in the school kind of connected. So I just thought if it's going to be becoming a big thing, if it was worth the page. But yeah.
It's not my call to
No,
make.
no, exactly.
I am out of this year. I'm gone. So I'm not sure if there's an opportunity for that later,
Yeah,
but there might
no, I was just wanting your opinion.
It would come down to your head teachers, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because with arts and sports, it was more of the importance of the events, because with arts we've got...
I wouldn't say that. Not importance, because then you're saying that one council is more important than the other. And that's
No, I'm not saying that. You're going there.
You mean number of events,
Yes,
or
that's what I mean.
yeah.
Number of events was that arts had so many productions. We had the big school production, we had the two senior productions. No, that's good stuff.
The thing with arts and sports is they are school departments.
Yeah.
Arts has dance, drama, and music. They're all departments that are in the school's educational system, curriculum, and so there's constant stuff going through that. Sports, the same with sports as well.
But hey, you still have the leaders page. There's a bunch of stuff there. I don't know what to add.
Thank you, Alex. Hello.
I've got kind of like a vague one, especially for a house leader. How would you deal with like pressure from deans? I know deans can be quite hands-on, depending on what house you're in. But how would you deal with that?
Honestly, I think creating really good relationships with your dean is really important, and also creating a good relationship with your partner so that you guys are constantly like communicating, making sure everyone kind of knows what's going on. With deans, yes, sometimes they do expect a lot from you, but sometimes you just have to be honest with them. And if you are having like a tough week or it's not really your day, like genuinely just go talk to them. They'll fully understand what you're going through. And sometimes like you just have to tell them, look, like I feel like there's a lot of pressure, But I of course want to do the best that I can for you guys, so this is what I want to do. If you can support me with that, that would be great, and they're 100% listening.
Thank you.
Coxie.
I was the scapegoat for everyone.
Just ask me.
Mitchell, but he's
I
not
have a
over it.
question. What would you say for you guys would be the easiest way to not influence your peers, but allow your peers to feel like they can express themselves to your house leaders or to your cultural leaders so that
Make
they
yourself
can give their
approachable.
ideas? Yes, make yourself approachable.
I would probably put it down to becoming vulnerable yourself to an extent. It gives you a deeper level of personality. With us, our student leadership team, we would occasionally have just dances and stuff like that where we can connect more as a team. The personality that my team knows me as is probably a bit different to the personality that the rest of the school knows me as.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Zebra.
Oh, it's the theme guy.
Oh, I do remember that. And the leaves and the twigs from Bob. Anyway. Yes.
What house?
Flower bouquet. Flower bouquet.
I don't know
I'll
what
get
that
a
is.
photo about it.
Coxie.
Yeah.
Trying to talk to you. More of a house sitting question. What did you find did work and didn't work with like motivating students? Because I know half the time they're like, oh cool, that's like let's do that. I really want to do that, and then the other half they're like, oh no, that's lame. Like
Do you mean like the students in your house or the people in your council?
both, mostly in the house, like
Mostly in the house.
year 9s and year 10s and stuff, trying to get them to think things are gonna be fun and cool.
Like cool enough.
Yeah, like what worked and what didn't work.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that Xavier and I did find really hard. I think heaps of the house leaders found that quite hard to get heaps of people involved and like to actually participate in things. But honestly, like even thinking about it now, I don't even really know what a good way would be to like actually get people involved. I know that like sometimes you could say like just like say it in assembly a lot, but like I guess that doesn't really mean that people will actually go and like do this stuff. But I think just showing that you yourself are getting involved and like as a house leader that it's not like really lame. Like
Yeah.
you're like doing something for the baby.
Leading by example.
Go like signing up for athletics even if you're like not even good at like anything, like just going out there and like getting people involved. I remember at athletics I just like got all dressed up, got face paint, and I just like was giving face paint out like here you go guys, like, and then I would like go around to heaps of the year 9s and 10s and I'd like just talk to them honestly, like make sure that they're having a good time and like I think just building connections again and like being a role model to show that it's like not lame.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Alex, what would you say your trip was, or like what kind of things did you do to get your council like talking and like putting their hands up to do things and stuff like that?
Bribe them. that was always my motive. Money talks, you know.
The answer is incentive and reward.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with mine, where we had to help set up events. If you offer like, if you'll get like chocolate after this, you'll get like lollies after this. Bribe them with food. It works. I swear, it works. They always go, I don't really want to do this, but then you go, there'll be chocolate. Oh yes, I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Sign me up.
Desperate times, desperate message.
Yes, and on that note, there is a leadership budget. We're not told it, but it is for stuff like incentives and rewards. And Nathan will tell you guys, Nathan Yoshini and Callum and Lucy will tell you about that.
Can I add to your answer? I think the people in your council, they kind of should be doing things because they've signed up and they've put their hand up to be there. And if they're not, just tell them if you're not going to get involved, you're going to have to leave. It's the hard truth, but it is what it is. And there's other people that do really want to be in the council, so if they're not pulling their weight to say there's other people that want to be here, so.
Yeah, because I heard that at Arts Council they basically just have the same people every year, they don't reapply, which I think is a bit stupid. So like, is there a way, can that be changed though? Because I think that's kind of silly, like, I feel like there should be opportunities for other people, and like, because people are just going to sit there and do nothing, I think it's
giggling away.
Ouch.
I'm just asking if there's other ways to do that.
Just make a red line.
Can you do that?
Yes.
But you
You have to talk to your teacher that's in charge of the council.
That's a TIC conversation.
Hello.
So we heard how you like organize everything, but how about you two? Like what was your guys' strategies for like organizing your meetings, organizing the different events? What did you guys do?
Plan ahead. So during meetings, you have to always have like what time you want to do it, what day you want to do it, where you're going to do it, and you've got to get it approved. Because if you leave it to the last minute, some things are going to become unavailable, like a room's going to become unavailable, and your TIC is not going to be able to make it, and you'd have to improvise, which is a huge nightmare. So I just say plan ahead. So just sit down with your mate, with your partner, sorry, you're professional, and just say, we're going to have a meeting today. I mean, not today. We're going to have a meeting next Tuesday at lunch. We're going to talk about this, this, and this. Because if you're going to go into a meeting and talk about nothing, I mean, that would make for a boring meeting. I mean, all meetings are boring, but at least if you have something to talk about, then you need to discuss what is important. What do you need the Arts Council to do? Like when we were planning, I was going to say Oscars. When we were planning Arts Awards, we had to plan ahead of what the theme was going to be, what props we would need, how we're going to organise the evening, how we're going to run it. Do we need a script? Do we not need a script? What teachers do we need? What students do we need? Etc. etc. If you plan ahead, all that stress is just gone. It's so simple. If you just plan ahead, and I can't emphasise it, plan ahead. A week before, a couple days before, plan ahead. Because if you're planning at the last minute, something's going to go wrong, and you're not going to have the time to fix about it, and you're going to stress about how you can't fix it, and then it's all probably going to go wrong. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty much what Alex said, just making sure everything's planned. But we had our meetings with your house leader partner and your two deans. We had ours on Tuesday morning, so it was before our big meetings. And so we would just talk about pretty much how we're going, and also the things that we need to plan and any ideas that we have, and then we would take that to our council meetings and we would write down on the whiteboard our ideas or anything else really, and then we would kind of just go from there, make sure people are putting their hand up and doing what they're meant to be doing, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hello.
How do you have any strategies to build trust within a council? Because there's these horrified year 9s who have a really good idea in their head and I just want to leech it out. How do you build a safe space?
At our first council meeting, all we really did was play get to know you games and a whole bunch of stuff so that we could, I guess, connect on another level and make sure that everyone feels really included and that we know names and stuff like that. Because imagine you get to your council meeting and term 2 and you still don't know the people's names. That's not really too good. So yeah, we just got to know everyone and connected on a deeper level rather than just we're just in the council together. And yeah, when you kind of get more comfortable with people, you'll learn how to, I feel saying shutting down ideas is bad, but you kind of learn how to deal with saying no to things in a way. And I think it's really important to let people give ideas, because obviously you don't want to shut them down and their ideas, because they might come up with a really great idea one day. But yeah, just keep encouraging everyone, but just manage it well.
Be open with them. Be yourselves with them. Just be completely honest with them. If you approach them and just say hi, how are you for every meeting, then they'll grow more comfortable with you and they'll want to talk to you about stuff and pull up ideas. Because if you put on a facade, that's fine too, but one day you're going to crack and you're going to have nobody to come back onto. And these year 9s are going to be most likely in that council until year 13. So to help them build that trust with their leaders, it's going to help grow their confidence until one day they possibly could become leaders.
Clear. Thank you very much.
Cool.
We're not done yet. I'd just like to say I'm behalf of all the student leaders here today, I'd like to say thank you to Kalos, Alex, Alexia. You know, we appreciate all your expertise. You've been through the gauntlet, and now you're preparing us to go through it, so we appreciate your knowledge, and especially a thank you to Kalos for putting together the slideshow. I mean, it's a lot of nifty details, and I think it's going to help us all this year. So yeah, just on behalf of us all, I'd like to say thank
If you could email that to us, please.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Alright, thank you guys. You can just pack away, and I do appreciate you
Fantastic.
being here. And what I love is this was initiated by Kalos. He felt he wanted to hand over to you and share some of his insights. So this has come from them, not from us. So that's really awesome. We're just going to spend about 10 minutes.
Alrighty, just finished my my little session at Willow Park. I thought it went pretty well. Thought it was natural. There were some mistakes here and there, but if things are too stuck up, they sort of look robotic, and so I don't mind. We had a bit of fun. The leadership feud thing was a bit of a meh, but it got them laughing and got them up, and I guess that's all I really wanted, so that's okay. I enjoyed it. I appreciate the opportunity. It is what it is. Thank everyone for watching. If you enjoyed it, I don't know, let us know in the comments if you like content like that. I guess we're just sort of venturing out now. Like and subscribe. And as always, we will see you in the next one. Peace out.